please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Hi, welcome back to the show. Well, the market is under pressure. The mid-caps are now down about 0.2%. Ashwani, Gujral, Mitesh Thakkar are back with us. Ashwani, how do you approach the markets now? It's actually cracking quite a bit, especially some of these mid-caps like Motherson, Sumi, etc. What would the strategy be?
See, first of all, don't think techs will bail you out, because if you are long, finally tech stocks will also come off. Somebody, he comes every day and starts dumping the market, he wants out. So again, private sector banks are coming off. I just heard, Anuj saying, talking about Motherson Sumi. What is the problem there? The problem is it's owned by FIIs and they are dumping stock. So I would think yesterday's low on Bank Nifty should get taken out. And, we are in this 10,300, 350 zone. I mean, logic would say that there should be support here. But, every day we gather momentum and we are breaking lows. I think 10,300 is in great danger. So anybody who's bought, thinking, hoping that we'll have large rallies from here, I think we should now prepare for levels below 10,000.
Okay.
Having said that, I think it's safe to remain short. Now metals are also coming off, so Tata Steel continues its downtrend. That's a sell with a stop of 650, target of 625. PSU banks have again resumed their downside, so Canara Bank is a sell with a stop of 316, target of 300. And Hindalco is a sell with a stop of 248, target of 232.
Okay, so Ashwani, you haven't yet covered your Bank Nifty shorts for intraday. I mean, we are now at the low point. 24,855 was the low on the Bank Nifty future, now at 24,860.
Bank Nifty is going to 24,600 and fast.
Okay, so you keep your shorts. You don't cover it till there.
Absolutely. All sectors started in the green. Now you hardly have 3 sectors in the green after half an hour. And momentum is something which builds up, and on the downside it builds up faster, because now the pain is going to start where margin calls and everything starts to hit like a ton of bricks. This will need some sort of intervention for it to get reversed, and I think somewhere that 6-day rally is over in the US, and maybe even there fresh correction would start. That is the hope. And if that happens, then we are certainly going lower.
Okay, mid-caps are falling further now, almost a 0.5% cut on the mid-cap index. Mitesh Thakkar is also joining in. Mitesh, what would the call be now, and on individual stocks, anything specific?
Yeah, so I have 2 calls. One is buy and one is sell, and a conditional buy on TCS. In fact, that's one stock which is showing mild strength. If it gets past 29.90, buy with a stop at 29.60 for targets of 30.50, and HUL is a sell with a stop at 13.40 for targets of 13.04. And a word on Bank Nifty. We've had shorts earlier, but today morning we haven't done much. I think day before yesterday's low was 24,824 and yesterday's low was 24,829. So let it break 24,800 and we'll like to add on to our short side. But otherwise on the Nifty I still haven't had a trade. But the Bank Nifty, if it starts getting below 24,800, I think 24,600, even 550, 400 should happen very fast.
Okay, by the way, there are some stocks where we're seeing some buying as well. ITC, for example, is seeing some buying, and if you take a look at say something like a Kotak Mahindra Bank, that also right now is making highs of the morning. Ashwani, thoughts on ITC and Kotak?
I don't want to buy them because today is the day to go short. Stick to the short side. Whatever is going up will also finally fall.
Okay, those are live visuals from the UP Investor Summit that's currently underway, and there, as you can see, Mukesh Ambani. We'll keep cutting to that as we get more details, but for now, the market really beckons our attention. Anuj, it looks like, this could be a day where you could see perhaps a lot of pressure, especially in the mid-cap space, and a lot of non-index large caps falling now.
Yeah, I think the stocks like Motherson, for example, obviously there's quite a bit of selling. Sonia, you would want to see if, yesterday's low is being respected or not. But obviously something has changed for the market. This year is obviously a bit different than last year. It started with, of course, that LTCG. After that, you had the bond yield issue, macro issues, yesterday's rupee move. and of course this whole PNB fraud. So all in all, there are issues which are bothering the market right now. You don't right now have fear of God in shorts, like so that is the time when maybe the market sees a bit of a rally. Right now, you can give markets the best of the cues, and still the market is seeing selling in the second half. And when yesterday, for example, was more disappointing day, because yesterday you had a weak recovery that was sold into in 3 or 4 minutes. So obviously the first half was going to be like this, but let's see. For now, you are trying to respect yesterday's low. Ashwani, would that be a port of call if yesterday's low is respected?
See, respect is a word now you use only for highs. The lows will get taken out.
Okay. Well, a lot of these other stocks, look at Bajaj Finance, for example. It's moved from 1900 to 1600 in no time, in less than 6 months. Once again, under quite a bit of pressure. Sandeep, Wagle also joins in now. Sandeep, lots of pressure on individual names. Now the Nifty has moved into the red as well. What are your stock calls?
Good morning, Sonia. I would go with a buy in a Hexaware, stop loss of 336, target 351. And a sell in a Biocon, stop loss 561, target 535.
Okay, Sandeep, thanks a lot for those calls. Well, we have now made a fresh intraday low as far as the Bank Nifty is concerned. The Nifty is in the red. Sensex is still holding in the green for the moment. Biocon is the other stock which is now started to make a low of the day. Just pull out the intraday chart of Biocon. And Sonia was referring to Bajaj Finance, a couple of others as well, where we have seen the lows. The metal stocks as well, seeing a bit of a selling right now. PC Jeweler also on the selling side. So a lot of these stocks right now on sell side. So Ashwani, you're very clear that you don't want to buy anything, even something like, say, an NIIT or Mindtree, which are now making the highs of the morning?
See, if I think Reliance and Maruti are also making lows of the day, there is so much on the other side that even if you have, these small 0.5%, 3-4% type of rallies on NIIT Tech, even they will get sold into. So the pressure on the market remains on the downside. I don't think if large players want to sell, then you have to cast your lot with them. This rupee movement, etc., these are temporary factors. There is something macro at play here. So going with the macro trend is probably safer.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to that in a bit. Thank you for giving us your thoughts on individual stocks. But moving on, getting back to the big story of yesterday, the cabinet has approved opening up coal mining to the private sector for commercial use. Let's find out what some of the companies have made of this move. SK Acharya, the chairman of NLC India, joins in to detail the impact. Mr. Acharya, good morning. What does this mean for your own business? Will there be any impact at all once commercial mining comes on board?
Good morning. We welcome the move. Yes, the market is opening up so far as the coal production for commercial mining is concerned. And we are a player in lignite mining as well as in coal mining also. But so far we got our mines, coal mines, with the end-use power. Now that the market is opening for commercial production, it will be very healthy for a competitive environment where efficiency will come in. New technologies also, with many players joining, there is possibility of efficiency ramp up, and the price also will be very good seeing the market competition.
Okay, Mr. Acharya, good morning. Can you just explain that? You said that at the moment you are a miner, but you have end-use restrictions. How does life change for you? Will you be a bidder?
Yes, why not? We'll join. In fact, since mining is my strength, and having done lignite mining and now in a big way into coal mining, though of course the end use is power, we are definitely hoping to join the process.
Okay, and how do you think the prices will be affected? This is what really the market wants to know.
Prices is too early to say, but yes, with many players coming in, the market forces will be there, and efficiency in the process will definitely lower the prices.
Okay, since you said you are interested in bidding, any kind of capex that you have lined up for this particular process? What is your overall capex plan for the next few years?
If I remember last time when after the Supreme Court deallocation and coal blocks went for auctions, that time there was a route for bidding as well as for allotment to the government companies. Since here, government companies, whatever they produce, basically they create the wealth on the government side. So this time also we are hoping there could be the bidding process through auction, and there could be some process for allotment also, though it is not very clear now. So depending on this thing, we'll decide and take a move.
What is the status on lignite mining? Is that also now only reserved for government companies? Will that also be thrown open?
We have not been told anything so far, but there are players also, but the end-use aspect is there. But lignite may not be a very commercially viable proposition because lignite, other than the use for power generation, the market for lignite shell is not that much.
Sure. Okay. All right, Mr. Acharya, we leave it there. Thanks a lot for your time today. That's NLC India. By the way, just want to point out Bhushan Steel. That stock is now down about 6%. Just see the intraday chart of that stock, and if you take a look at the buy quantity and sell quantity, the 5 lakh buy quantity and about 13 lakh sell quantity. You know, we had that, of course, that big upper circuit on that stock, but yesterday there was some decline, and now again there's a bit of a decline. 6% lower is what we have on Bhushan Steel. So this one is turning a bit volatile after that big move that it had on 2 days back when it was on that 20%.
Yeah, I think in the mid-cap 100, in the mid-cap stocks, the three prominent losers, of course, Geetanjali is circuit down every day. Next to it is actually Bhushan and Motherson. In terms of weakness, they are the three mid-caps which are showing maximum weakness at this point in time. And that index has kind of recovered a wee bit, but still significant weakness in the mid-cap index. Advanced declines also turning negative in favor of more declining stocks.
Okay, well, moving on then, almost a week after the 11,400 crore rupee fraud at PNB came to light, the finance minister has now broken his silence. Speaking at an event in Delhi, Arun Jaitley held the management of the bank, the auditors and the regulator RBI responsible for the fraud allegedly perpetrated by Nirav Modi and his companies. In a scathing indictment of the PNB management, finance minister said that they have been found wanting. Listen in.
The first important question is with regard to the lack of ethics that a section of Indian business follows. And therefore it is incumbent on us as a state, till the last legitimate capacity of the state, to really chase these people to the last possible conclusion to make sure that the country is not cheated. When authority is given to the managements, you are expected to utilize that authority effectively and in the right manner. And therefore a question for the managements itself is, were they found lacking? And on the face of it, the answer seems to be, yes, they were. They were found also lacking in being able to check who amongst them were the delinquents itself. The third important question is, which is addressed to our friends in the profession, what are our auditors doing? There is also an important challenge where the supervisory agencies have now to introspect as to what are the additional mechanisms they have to put into place to make sure that stray cases don't become a pattern again. I say this because these kind of developments have a cost to the country and a cost to the taxpayer. It's a direct cost. And it has an indirect cost which impinges on development, which impinges upon the lending capacity of banks as an institution, and therefore it obviously impinges upon developmental finance.
Okay, some bit of semblance of recovery in the market. By the way, this block deal in Bharat Financial, 0.4% equity changing hands. It's not all down today. I mean, there are a lot of stocks which are recovering as well. Fortis, for example, is up about 2%. Tech Mahindra is making highs of the day, 3% higher on Tech Mahindra, Mindtree, Hexaware. Midcap IT actually is doing well. The top 5 gainers are all midcap IT names in the F&O space, led of course by NIIT Tech. Even the large cap IT is doing well, like HCL Tech, KPIT also doing well. So there are stocks which are doing well as well. And for now, for whatever it's worth, yesterday's low is being respected. So let's see how things move in the second half.
Okay, well, with that, let's shift focus to what is an important corporate moment as well. Last year, same day, we saw the Tata Group for the first time getting taken over by a professional. It was not a Tata family that is holding the reins now. It's the professional Chandrasekharan who has taken over as the chairman of the Tata Group. It's 1 year now, and very important decisions got taken in that 1 year. Joining us to assess this term, this 1 year, is another corporate heavyweight and significant promoter in his time, Mr. Narayanamurthy, founder Catamaran Ventures at this point in time. Good morning, Mr. Murthy. Thank you very much for joining us. First thoughts, sir?
Good morning, Latha. Yeah.
Well, it's been a significant 1 year for the Tata Group with the telecom business being sold off, aggressive bidding in the stressed assets segment, as well, of course, ring fencing kind of the losses in chorus. How would you assess the first 1 year?
Well, you know, for me, the most important thing about any corporate leader is his or her value system. I have known Chandra for several years now. I have tremendous affection for him. In my opinion, he is one of the finest corporate leaders of independent India. His value system is based on a firm foundation, and therefore I would say that whatever he does, he would think well with respect to every stakeholder. He would ask the question, will this decision of mine enhance respect for me and for the Tata Group? And therefore, I have no doubt at all that whatever he does, as I have seen him do when he was leading TCS, would be, you know, to the best of the stakeholders.
Sure. Mr. Murthy, good morning. Thank you for speaking with us here at CNBC TV18. When Chandra joined a year back, he had a clear two-point agenda. One was to simplify the group holding structure, and the other one was to stabilize the brand equity. Do you think he's been able to achieve that, or at least a part of that, in the last 1 year?
No, I think he has started the work, and these are not things that will happen in a year. And as I said before, because he is a leader with an extraordinary sense of values, he will do what is best for the Tatas on a long-term basis. So therefore, I am confident that he will do the right thing for the Tatas, and all of us, his well-wishers, will be cheering him on the sidelines. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, normally when a new chairman comes in or a new leader comes in, there is some churn at the top. We didn't see any of that at Tata Sons or in any of the Tata Group companies. Would you say, therefore, that this has been an extraordinarily smooth change of guard?
You know, Latha, I must confess that since last year, August or so, I have not taken any interest in any corporate activities in India, including the company that I founded, Infosys. Therefore, I am not in a position to get to specific transactions, but having known Chandra for quite a few years, having met him several times in the last 1 year, having seen him react to situations, I would only base my confidence, I would only base my conclusions on his value system, on his competence, on how he has performed well at TCS.
Okay. So, just a final question from my end then. For his second year in office, or henceforth, what do you think his strategy should be? Because there are still many challenges that the company is facing, right? Whether it's to do with the Jaguar Land Rover business or other issues like leveraging, etc. What do you think should be most important on his agenda right now?
No, but you know, strategy is all about doing whatever is necessary to create a differentiated business value What happened? Did we lose?
No, we can hear you, sir.
Hello? Yeah.
We can hear you, Mr. Murthy.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. Strategy is all about doing whatever is necessary to create a sustained, differentiated business value proposition to your customers and earn better margins compared to your competitors so that you can pay your employees better, you can return better money to your investors and make the company stronger by investing in R&D, technology, people, talent, training, etc. So, having seen Chandra perform at TCS, I have no doubt at all that he will pursue those policies that he has perfected while taking TCS to unprecedented heights. Okay. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't do that. So therefore, I have full confidence that he would be doing what is in the best interest of the Tata Group.
Mr. Murthy, you know, this also symbolizes or is the first instance of family-run conglomerates now run professionally. I mean, in the sense the Tata Sons board is no longer chaired by a person with a Tata name or a Shapurji Palonji name. Will we see this kind of a trend, or will this be a one-off?
No, I think we have to be very careful in using these terms, because my own experience has been that the so-called promoter professionals were in no way less than any so-called professional. So therefore, I don't want to get into a debate on whether family owned or promoter professionals are better or the so-called professionals are better. I think as long as you have competent people, whether they come from the family or whether they come from outside, as long as they have competence and values, that's all what matters. Nothing else matters.
Certainly, sir. Well, a final question to you, Mr. Murthy. You have been once in the RBI board, and hence also this question to you. What's your thought on the way in which we have seen public sector banks report both bad loans as well as frauds? What would be the advice? Has the time come for more market discipline?
No, you know, I would not hold RBI responsible for what.
No, I'm not holding RBI. I'm asking you, how do you rectify the situation?
No, it's not the job of the RBI. RBI has some responsibility in terms of supervision, in terms of reviews. But the reality is that the governance of these banks has to be improved. You have to select people who are competent and who are also value-based. No, they must be able to stand up and ask tough questions when the CEO does something that is not right.
I'm asking
that is the issue. That is the fundamental issue.
Sir, I'm asking you if the time has come for privatizing. That was my question.
No, I don't know whether privatization is the solution to everything. I have found a lot of very competent people, a lot of value-based people in public sector banks. I mean, so it is not a question of privatization versus public sector issue. The issue is whether we have provided full freedom to the professionals, to the CEO, to the board, and to run their bank without any undue interference from political circles.
Okay.
That is the issue, as well as from bureaucracy in Delhi.
Yes, sir.
As long as the professionals in the bank are fully empowered to take the best decision, as long as nobody is doing backseat driving, I have no doubt at all that the CEOs of public sector banks will perform as well as the CEOs of private sector banks.
Okay. All right, Mr. Murthy. Thank you very much for joining us and speaking to us about a very honorable rival in the Tata Group. Thank you very much for joining us.